welcome to online teaching session of Academy World School Bemitra. Today I have taken the topic email writing. Now before going to the writing skill, we need to know what is email. Now here E stands for electronic. It becomes electronic mail. Now electronic mail is the fastest way of communication, and these days it is used as the most common way of communication. It is also eco-friendly. Now eco-friendly means it saves paper. Most of the organizations or institutions use this medium of communication so that they can save paper, or they don't have to go by the manual or paperwork. Let's go by the definition of email writing. So email or an electronic mail is a system that conveys our ideas or share our experiences with others, or I can say that email is a method of composing, sending, storing, and receiving messages over electronic communication system. Now, I will repeat the definition for you. The definition of email is: email or an electronic mail is a system that conveys our ideas or share our experiences with others. Or we can say it is a method of composing, sending, storing and receiving messages over electronic communication system. Now, basically email is of two types. The two types of email is formal and informal. Now students, look into it. There are two types of email. It can be formal, it can be informal. In informal, business mails are given. Official mails are given, and official mails can be given to, you can say, principal, class teacher, editor, and we can also give it to government departments. Now, in informal, these mails are given to family, friends and relatives. So basically students, there are two types of mails: formal and informal. Informal mail we give business mails, we give official mails, we give it to the government departments, and informal mails are given to friends, families and relatives. Now we are going to understand the structure of email before understanding the format of the email. Now, students, the structure of the email is, or you can say, comprises of two parts. The structure of email comprises of two parts. The first part is known as heading, and the second part is known as the body. The first part is known as the heading, and the second part is known as the body. Now, in heading, we look into the date and time. After this, we also look into the sender's mail ID. Now, we also look into the receiver's mail ID. And the last one that is in the heading that comes is the subject line. For body, in the body comes the message, and this message can be of two types. It can be formal or informal. Can be formal or informal. Now, I repeat the structure of the email. The structure of the email comprises of two parts. One is the heading and the second one is the body. In the heading, the very first that comes is the date and time. After that, sender's mail ID, then receiver's mail ID, and at last it has subject line. Now, the body is having the message. The message can be formal or informal. Now, we are going to understand the format of the email. Now, the email format is basically same for both formal and informal mail. Though the choice of words and language differs depending upon the type of mail that you are giving. So, we start with the format of the email writing. Students, please pay attention over here because it's a very prominent part in email writing. Format of email writing. Now, the very first thing that comes in a format is the date. As we are going to mention it manually, so you are going to write the date, or else the date and the time is automatic generated by the system. Now, the next box, actually this comes in a box. Now, the very first we have discussed that it starts with the date. Now, after the date, we will have a box named from. Now, in this box, in the from box, you are going to write the sender's mail ID. sender's mail ID. Now, in the box, after that comes the box 2. In the box 2, you are going to write the receiver's mail ID. The very first is date, then from and to. Basically, when we compose or draft a mail, date and the sender's address is automatically generated by the system. But as we will be writing it in format, we need to mention the date and then we will write the sender's mail ID in the from box, and after that we are going to write the receiver's mail ID in the to box. Now, after 2 comes CC. Now students, what do you understand by the term CC? The term CC means carbon copy. CC means carbon copy. Now, in this box, we write the mail IDs. Those mail IDs to whom we want to send the mail to. Like, I'll write the definition over here. Other individuals receiving the mail with visible IDs. Now, just imagine you are writing a letter to your class teacher and you want that mail, you are writing a mail to your class teacher and you want that mail to be given to the principal as well. So you can tag the principal's ID over here in the CC box. Now, after CC comes BCC. Now, BCC means the blind carbon copy. Now, in this box, other individuals we write or give the mail ID of those people or those individuals with invisible IDs. Now, what does this mean? Other individuals receiving the mail with invisible IDs. Now, just imagine or just think that you are going to write a mail to your class teacher about anything, and you don't want your class teacher to know that you have even mailed it to the principal of your school. So, this ID, whatever IDs you tag over here in the BCC box, the receiver won't be able to know that you have tagged those email IDs also. So, in this box, only invisible IDs, it will be invisible for the receiver. The receiver won't be knowing that these people have also received your mail. Now, after BCC comes the subject. Now, subject is a very important part in your mail. The subject actually gives a very quick idea of your content to the receiver. So, after that we are going to write the subject. Now, after subject we are going to write, after subject till here this is the heading part or the heading that we have studied in the structure of the mail. Now, respected. Depending upon your type or depending upon the type of mail you are sending, is it formal or informal, these are decided. We'll look into those when we discuss about the points to remember. So, in salutation part, we generally use the words dear, hi, hello, respected. Now, after salutation, the body of the mail is written. Now, the very first, there are basically 3 paragraphs over here. Introductory. The second one is the matter in detail, and the third one is the conclusion. So you conclude at the last. Now there are basically, I am repeating students, there are 3 paragraphs in the body. The very first is the introductory paragraph. The second one is the matter content or the content elaborated in detail. And the last one is where you conclude your mail. Now after the body comes the closing end statement or the closing end statement, or you can say the complimentary end or complimentary close. After this, the complimentary closing end statement comes, and you can use words as yours faithfully, truly, obediently. Now, and after closing end statement, you have a signature line. Now, signature line means that you will write your name, designation, and the details of the contact of the contact. Details of the contact. Now, I repeat the format for you students. The format for email writing is basically the same for formal and informal. Though the choice of the words and the language depends and actually differs depending upon the type of mail that you are sending. So, the very first will be the date. After that will be from box where the sender's mail ID will be there. After from in the to box, receiver's mail ID has to be mentioned to whom you want to give your letter to, or in receiver's mail ID we can say it as recipient's mail ID. Now, the receiver mail ID or the recipient's mail ID, in the CC box you can add those or tag those mail IDs to whom you want your mail to be seen. You also want to send the same mail to them that you have sent this mail to your class teacher, or as well as to the principal. Now, BCC box is the box where other individuals receive the mail with invisible IDs, which means that the receiver won't be able to know that you have passed on your mail to these people or these individuals also. Then comes the subject line, which gives a quick idea of your content, and then comes the salutation part, dear, hi, hello, respected. After salutation comes the body part, which is divided into 3 parts, that is introductory paragraph, the second one is the matter in detail, and the third part is the conclusion. After that comes the complimentary close or the closing end statement, where you end your mail with these words. Basically these words come in formal mails. Your faithfully, truly, obediently. Now, at last comes the signature line. You need to mention your name, designation, and the detail of the contact. Now, we are going to talk about the points that we should remember before drafting a mail. It's very important that you should be knowing the different points before you draft a mail. Now, points to remember. Now, in points to remember, I will segregate formal and informal, how to write informal and how to write it informal. The very first point that I am going to talk about is subject. Now, just remember students, whenever in the box of a subject, the subject line gives a clue of the content. That is why we write the subject. Second thing is that it should not exceed more than 4 to 5 words. Just remember this. And there is no need of using complete sentences in the subject. Now, I repeat the things that you should be remembering in subject, and you should always give a subject to your mail. Why? Because it gives a clue or idea to the receiver about the content. And that is the only thing that the receiver sees in the inbox. Now, after the clue of the content, we should always remember that it should not, basically we should use 1 to 2 words. But if you want to use, you cannot exceed it more than 4 to 5 words. After this, you need to look into that you should not use complete sentences in subject line. After subject, we are going to talk about the salutation. Now, in salutation, I will take 2 parts, informal and informal. Now, informal, we use words as dear sir, madam, or respected sir, madam, or I can use dear the surnames as well, dear Mr. Verma, Sharma. Now, in informal mail, we write as hi Tom, hello Tom, or hello again Tom. We use these kinds of words. We can use morning, evening, afternoon Tom. So, here there is a difference between formal and informal. The salutation part actually differs when you write. In formal, we write dear sir, madam, respected sir, madam, dear Mr. Verma. Or here in informal, we start with as hi Tom, hello again Tom, morning, evening, or morning Tom, evening Tom. So, we start the salutation part in informal letters in this way. I repeat the subject and salutation for you students. In the subject, just remember that it gives a clue of the content. It should not exceed more than 4 to 5 words, and there is no need of using complete sentences. Now, the second thing was that we talked about is salutation. In salutation formal, we will be using dear sir, madam, respected sir, madam, or dear the surname Mr. Sharma or Mr. Verma, whatever the surname may be. Now, in informal, the salutation that we use is hi Tom, hello again Tom, morning, evening, afternoon talk. Now, the third point that we will discuss upon is the opening statement. Third part that we are going to talk about is the opening statement. Now, the opening statement. Students, whenever you start your mail, just remember that you cannot just jump into the content. You can introduce yourself. You need to write any kind of a greeting statement, or you can write a pleasantry note as well. So just remember, before you start with your purpose of writing the mail, just remember you need to write you need to greet or give a pleasantry note at the very beginning. Like for formal letters, you can write, I am writing to thank you for your help. Whereas in informal, the same sentence you can write as many thanks for your mail. In formal, I can write, I am writing, if I need to thank somebody and I have received somebody's help, I can start from the very beginning as I am writing to thank you for your help, and then you can start with the purpose. In informal, we can start with many thanks for your mail. Now, the fourth point that we are going to talk about is the tone or the clarity. Now, the tone and the clarity differs with the mail. Like informal, language should be formal, professional, and clear. Whereas in informal, the language you use can be casual or friendly. You can use casual and friendly words in informal, whereas in formal you can use language should be formal, professional and clear. Now I am going to repeat the third and the fourth points to be remembered. That is, in the opening statement you should always start with a greeting or pleasantry note. And whereas in tone and clarity, you should always look into that whenever you are writing a formal mail, you just need to see that your language is formal, professional and clear. Whereas when you are writing a mail, an informal mail, you should look into the language and it should be you can write casual and friendly language. Now the next point that we are going to discuss is about the paragraphs. Now the fifth point is the paragraphs. How we can organize the paragraphs. The very first thing, just remember that whenever you are stating your purpose, it should be in a separate paragraph. Number one is that state your purpose of writing the mail in a separate paragraph. Now the second thing is that always remember that you need to write complete sentences. Complete sentences should be concise. Should be concise. Now, the fifth point is that you can never write in bold letters a complete email. Never write your email or mail in bold letters. So students, just remember that whenever you are writing paragraphs, you should always state your purpose of writing the mail in a separate paragraph. The second thing is that write complete sentences. The third thing is that you should not be using any kind of abbreviations while you write, or you can say the short forms that we have the habit of using, like we use the word as you, whereas we need to write it as you, or we use the word asap, which does mean that as soon as possible. So we are supposed to refrain from using abbreviations. Now, fourth point is that we should keep our sentences very short. We should use very simple languages and keep the matter concise. Fifth point is never write your email in bold letters. The reason is that when we use bold letters, which means that we are attracting the attention of the receiver that something important is written in bold letters. So avoid using bold letters in your complete mail. Now, the next thing we want to talk about is the complementary clause or the clause ending statement. Now, closing end statement. Now, I segregate here as formal and informal because here we do differ when we write. So, informal, we can end our mail by using short phrases as I will look forward. I will look forward to your mail. Or when I want any kind of reply, I use these kinds of statements. Kindly revert back. Please let me know. Please advise as necessary. Whereas in informal, we can use closing phrases as see you soon, see you next week. At the end, informal letters, we use yours faithfully, sincerely, truly. Whereas over here, we use regards, wishes, or cheers, bye for now. These are the closing phrases that we use in informal mail. And at last we write the name. In formal letter, it is important that you write the name, designation, and your contact number, contact details. Whereas in informal, you can just end up by writing your first name of the first name of your first name of the person. Now I repeat the point for closing end statement for formal and informal. In formal, we can use words when we require any kind of reply back from the person. We can use these kinds of closing phrases at the last. Like, I will look forward to your mail, kindly revert back, please let me know, please advise as necessary. Whereas in informal, we can use see you soon, see you next week. At last, we use the words yours faithfully, sincerely, truly in formal letters, and over here we use regards, cheers, wishes, bye for now words. And at the very last, where the signature line is there, we use name, designation, contact details. It is very compulsory, or you can say it is very mandatory for a person when you are giving a professional mail or a formal mail, you are forwarding a formal mail. You need to look into that you are writing the name, designation and the contact details. Whereas in informal mail you can just write the first name of the person. Now we are going to take a sample after knowing all those things of a formal email, so that you get a clear view how to write a formal email. Now, the very first that we have talked about or we have understood when we start the mail is a date. So, the date I can take it as 5th May 2020. After this, I am going to use the next step, that is the from box. In the from box, the sender's address, let the sender address be xyz@gmail.com. Now, after the sender address, we are going to write the receiver's address in the two box. It can be, let me give it a mail to a principal. So, I am writing to principal ABC school @gmail.com. Now see students, the mail IDs are in small letters. Now after this, if you have CC or if you want to go for tag someone in the mail, you can go for CC and BC as required. I don't require it now. After this, I am going to write the subject. So the subject that I am going to take is it's a leave application. So I have written leave application. After subject, I will start with a salutation. So I can write dear sir. Now after dear sir, I am going to start my mail. I said you when I am starting with a mail, I need to go for opening statements. So my opening statement is I dash, or whatever your name is, your full name needs to be mentioned over here. And a student of your school of class 7C, and I am writing this application to inform you application to inform you that, and then you can state your purpose after this. Now, in the very next paragraph, you are going to write the body. You are going to explain or elaborate the reason why you are wanting for a leave. At last, in the third paragraph, you can write, sir, I grant 3-day leave. And then you can end with a closing phrase like, please let me know. And after please let me know, you can end it as yours faithfully XYZ 7C. And if you have a designation as class monitor or you are the school head or president of the school, if you have any kind of designation in the school, you can mention it over here. Now I repeat the sample of a formal letter for you. I start with the date. After that I am writing with the form. After that I write the sender's email ID, then the receiver's email ID, then this carbon copy I can attach, or blind carbon copy I can attach the mail ID to whomever I want it to be given to the mail. The subject is the leave application. After that I go for the salutation, then the 3 parts of the paragraph, and at end I use the closing phrase or the closing statement, and then I end my mail with yours faithfully XYZ 7C class monitor. Now students, today we have understood what is email writing. You are requested to download the assignment from your ERP and complete it within 3 days.